The Emoji Movie is quite possibly the greatest work of cinematography I have ever had the pleasure of viewing. Nothing in this godforsaken world has ever come even remotely close to making me laugh as hard as I did with this film. It was 90 straight minutes of pure, unadulterated happiness and laughter. Comedy, romance, adventure, thrills, musical numbers, all of these aspects were expertly blended together to create what is, in my opinion, the most enjoyable train wreck the world has seen in decades. I absolutely adore So Bad It's Good type movies. From The Room to Birdemic, I live for this shit. So when it was confirmed that Sony was making a $50 million feature-length film all about the world of glorified text emoticons, I could barely contain my excitement. When the fateful day of July 28th finally rolled around, myself, Alpharad, Dad as Heck, and Deezus, subscribe to Friends Without Benefits by the way, went to see it that opening night, and boy, what a night it was! To paint a picture, everyone but me was completely tanked. Deezus was howling with laughter from the first frame to the credits, only occasionally stopping to shout out, "Epic!" Dad had to get up and leave the theater because he felt like he was about to have a goddamn panic attack, and we came extremely close to being thrown out altogether. The cherry on top of the whole experience is that there was this one glorious bastard sitting right in front of us who was hysterically laughing, dabbing, and nay-naying through the entire film. I made a tweet about this legend once we got back from the theater, and miraculously enough, he replied a few minutes later. Turns out he's actually a longtime Weegee Plays fans who was literally watching one of my videos before he was picked up to go to the movie. I mean, just think about that. The odds are fucking insane. I'm blown away. Being in this environment made going to that movie one of the funnest things I've ever experienced. However, if those circumstances were different and I was seeing the film alone, for instance, I probably would have killed myself halfway through the first act. Yes, believe it or not, the fucking Emoji Movie isn't actually that great on its own merit. In fact, I would go as far to say that the film is quite shitty. Imagine, if you can, Inside Out meets Wreck-It Ralph meets Toy Story meets the Lego Movie meets the Fairly Odd Parents Channel Chasers movie, then take everything that's even remotely enjoyable or clever about those films out of the equation, and then boom! You got yourself the Emoji Movie. But in all seriousness though, it's time to answer the question that's surely burning deep within each and every one of you. What exactly is the Emoji Movie about? Short answer, not much. Long answer, however. Deep within everyone's texting app is Textopolis, a secret world of emojis that all live for one purpose: make the correct expression when the phone user selects you. Our protagonist, though, Gene the Meh emoji, has a severe case of autism and simply can't do this. He's just got too many different feelings, and he can't help but make other faces, and I already take great issue with this. How fucking hard is it to make a meh face? It's like the most neutral facial expression you can make. You don't really have to do anything. It's shown later that it can morph into and hold other expressions with no problem at all, so why can't he just do it with this one? What? I don't know. Anyway, in the real world, the phone is being used by this freshman boy who likes this freshman girl. You could put a gun to my head, and I still wouldn't be able to remember their names. Guy doesn't know how to respond to one of girl's texts, so he decides to send her a single meh emoji because that'll make her like him? Maybe I'm getting too old to understand kids these days, but from where I'm standing, Gene isn't the only guy in this film that has a severe case of autism. So Gene's selected to be scanned, but oh no, he doesn't make the right face. He blew it. Now the whole world wants to hunt down this one retarded man and kill him. I'm not joking or being edgy about that, by the way. This movie's plot is literally about hunting down and killing a disabled guy because he is disabled. That is some Hitler shit, gotta say. Gene and his friend High Five, guess which emoji he is, set out on an adventure to the cloud, where Gene can be fixed and High Five can become popular. They meet up with an epic for the win hacksaw called Jailbreak, who also wants to get to the cloud to escape the phone, and before anybody asks, no, they do not fuck. While traveling the land, searching far and wide, they fuck with the guy's phone even harder in the real world, which leads him to taking it to the Apple Store to, as the kids say, delete this, which is something that you can, by the way, just do yourself in less than 60 seconds, but I guess the writers just forgot about that. One horribly boring, generic journey later, they get to the cloud, realize that friendship is more important, or something like that, go back to Textopolis, send a girl a confession text that is, as the kids say, on fleek, and that makes the guy say, wait, no, my phone is a special, I can't reset it, I'm leaving. Guy and girl get together, and before everyone asks, no, they do not fuck. All of the emojis accept Gene for the special snowflake he is, and they all live happily ever after. What a mess. I think that the worst part about this whole thing is that the Emoji Movie honestly did have some potential. Not much, mind you. It would have been an uphill battle that had put Sisyphus to shame, but there was a possibility. Think of it this way. If you can take a property like Legos and turn that into a critically acclaimed film, then it's not at all out of the question to assume the same couldn't be done for emojis. So why wasn't it? Simply put, this one had passion behind it, and this one did not. Every joke, every scene, every directing technique was so incredibly lazy and bland that if you listen closely enough while watching, you can actually hear everyone who worked on this movie shouting, "Thanks for the money, asshole!" all the way from Culver City, California. Now, I could be like 99% of all other people who talk about movies on the internet and say, "Wah, you can't make movies exclusively for monetary gain. That's jeopardizing the integrity of the art form." But I'm not going to, because personally, I just don't agree with that all too much. The thing that a lot of people don't seem to understand, and this goes a lot deeper than just this movie, but things that are targeted towards kids, say it with me, are meant for kids. Yes, it is fantastic when media is able to bridge that gap and make things enjoyable for audiences of all ages. For example, what I was just talking about, but it's really not fair to unironically complain and attack how childish a movie for children is. You have to keep in mind that kids are remarkably dumb when it comes to entertainment, and understandably so. They're just fucking kids. So when your average 7-year-old sees flashy cartoon colors and animation from a recognizable property that they use every day, they love it. It's okay not to like this movie. It wasn't made for you. It was made for these people. That being said, however, it served as a great window to showcase what today's modern youth identifies with and likes the most, and that's where all of me and my friends' enjoyment stemmed from. Just how terrible those things are, because let's be honest with ourselves, they're pretty fucking terrible. So to summarize, the movie is shit because they didn't care about making it good. They cared about their paychecks, and that's okay. At the time of me making this video, it's already profited Sony Pictures Animation over $12 million, so it's clearly doing good for them. It was good to the children it was aimed towards, and it was good to the tons of people like me and my friends who went to go have a good laugh at it. Overall, the Emoji Movie might be shit, but it's still pretty good. Alright, so I'm sorry, the video should be over, I know that, but as I was actually editing this, I stumbled across the goddamn funniest thing that I have ever seen in my entire life, and I would be damned if I did not share it with all of you in this video. This is man accused of lewd act during the Emoji Movie. These are the times we live in, folks. These are the fucking times that we live in. Let me just give you the rundown on this real quick. Let's see. Howell, a man accused of performing a lewd act during a showing of the children's movie The Emoji Movie has been identified by police. Howell police say Abraham Parnes, 43, turned himself into the police Thursday evening after an anonymous tip led police to his identification. I'm sorry, it's like 4 a.m. when I'm reading this. I'm very tired, but this is very, very important to me, and I'll be damned if I don't get this in. A woman at Xscape Movie Theater on Route 9 in Howell says that she saw Parnes with his hands down his pants, which were unbuttoned and unzipped, while he sat in a back row during the movie. That woman reported Parnes to the theater manager, who asked Parnes to leave. The incident allegedly happened on July 28th, so this is kind of old, but it's new to me, damn it. I'm sorry, I just came across this, and it's new to me, and it's important to me. Police say Parnes is a resident of Lakewood in Brooklyn. He was charged with lewdness and released on a summons. Jesus Christ, save us all. Bye-bye.
Where have you been? Been searching all along. Come facing twilight alone and on. Without a clue, without a sign.